Hey fifth graders, your goal today is to learn about advantages that simple machines give us and to learn about pulleys. Let's start by thinking about that word advantage. We use this word in our everyday lives. Here it is, the word advantage, and it means the benefit or what is good about something. Now we can use this in different areas besides just science, but if I were to use this in a sentence, I might say something like, the advantage of solar power is that it causes less pollution than coal power plants, right? Advantage, what is good about it? Now, with simple machines give us something called mechanical advantage. Remember, advantage means what is good or the benefit. And remember, a simple machine is supposed to help us do work. So the mechanical advantage is how a simple machine reduces effort, right? It's how the simple machine helps us by, remember, making that effort that we can measure using the spring scale become less. We looked at how the mechanical advantage on an inclined plane actually becomes less, right? It takes less effort to move an object up a gentle slope, right? Using an inclined plane compared to a steeper slope, right? So it gave us mechanical advantage. Well, I have a new simple machine. It's going to be set up behind me. And instead of always providing a mechanical advantage, it sometimes gives us something called a directional advantage instead. So let's check it out, and I'll come back to this idea of directional advantage in a second. So behind me, I have this set up, and we are going to put this simple machine on. I'll give you, actually let's flip it just with where my rope is. There we go. I'll give you a moment to think about what kind of simple machine this is. I see that we have, there we go. We have a wheel and axle, but we have a rope going around it, and we're using the rope to lift the load. And here is the load. Remember that load from last time? So I'm using this rope to lift the load. Can you think of what this simple machine is called? All right, I'll count down. 3, 2, 1. It's a pulley. All right, if you said pulley, you got it. So this is a pulley. It is a rope that goes around a wheel and axle. Well, I have, just like before, I have my spring scale here, and I can see how much effort it takes to lift this load with this spring scale. So I know you can't see all of this. There we go. I know you can see a little bit more. So as I lift the load, I'm going to go ahead and read the spring scale, and I'm going to tell you what it says. Right? So I'm lifting the load, and it says it takes about 2.6 newtons to lift the load. Okay, 2.6 newtons to lift the load. Well, I want to check something out quick. I feel like this load itself took 2.6 newtons to lift. I feel like I did that once before. I feel like it was right around actually 2.5 newtons. Yeah, sure enough. It's about 2.5 or 2.6 newtons just to lift the load. I thought that pulleys were supposed to help make it easier. So it doesn't actually reduce the effort. When I'm using this spring scale to lift this load like this, it didn't give me a mechanical advantage. So what kind of advantage does it give us? It still helps me, and we still have pulleys like this all over. So how does it actually help? It helps by giving a directional advantage. Let's say that there's actually a little Lego dude way down here, and he needs to try and get this humongous load way up high where he can't even reach. Right? And let's say another little Lego dude is standing right up here on this ledge and is ready for the load when it gets that high. It's a lot easier to pull down and make that load go up like that than for me to actually lift something above my head that's too high. So it gives us something called directional advantage. Remember, I told you I'd come back to that word. Directional advantage is the advantage you get when you change the direction of the force. So you're giving yourself an advantage, you're making it better or easier because you're changing the direction of your force. That's the first kind of advantage that pulleys can give us. Now, depending on how I set up the pulley though, it actually can also give me mechanical advantage. So there's different ways that pulleys can actually be set up. I'll show you one more, and then you're going to see how that it can actually give us that mechanical advantage too. So if I switch this around, and now instead of pulling down, I have to get it set up, there we go. Instead of pulling down, I am actually now going to pull up on the pulley. So now I'm not changing the direction. I want the load to go up. So I'm pulling up. So it's not giving me directional advantage. But now when I pull up, so check it out. I'm gonna pull up, my pulley goes up at the same time, lifting the load up, 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 up. And now it's only taking 1.4 newtons of effort to lift that same exact load. So now it's giving me mechanical advantage, right? Because now it's taking less effort. Now, pulleys are really cool, simple machines. You probably won't find a pulley inside of your house unless you have window blinds. If you can find another example in your house, I'd love to see a picture of it. That'd be great. But if you can find window blinds, you will be able to find a pulley. And remember, pulleys, the main way they help is when we pull down on the rope, the load goes up, giving us directional advantage. And sometimes if you can find a pulley like the one I just showed you, where the pulley's on the bottom like this, then it will actually give you that idea of mechanical advantage where the amount of effort actually becomes less. All right, that's it for now. Check out my pictures of pulleys, check out the rest of the information on advantage, and answer those questions.